as you are already done with the 1.5 years, or maybe you can like for 2 years you're done with your articleship training. So like somehow you got an exposure about the working, how the audit thing works. And if you're interested in the audit field, then it's your call. If you wanted to, after your CA, after completion of your CA, if you wanted to start your own firm, in that case also I would recommend you to join industrial training. Because if you've gone like if for 1 year, if you've gone there, no, you will get to know that yeah, the how the work and the whole organization work. Okay, how the total work structure of a big corporate, how it looks like. Okay, so you'll get to know a lot of things. You'll get to know a total structure chart in your mind, that how, if I started working on my own CA firm, in that case, what all uh, what all uh, questions, what all structure I need to work on my work. Okay, so in that case, I would say that you should go there for industrial training. You will be able to understand the organizational structure of the company, and that will help you to find your own way. And even if you're not thought that you are not thinking about your CA from your own CA from after clearing your CA, so in that case, for a salaried person, if you are if you can join again as an industrial training, that will be a great startup or boost up for your profile. You will get a good exposure. Okay, so I would recommend you that yes, industrial training is much more better than doing a CF, doing a articleship in the CF form. Okay, after doing 2 years of hardcore work in CF form, as we all do. Okay, so that is more important. Second one is, I would say, that what should be the second question? If I am very clear that yeah, I would go for industrial training, so after you are very clear that you are going, you will go for industrial training, what will you do? Or the second question, what will arise? What will be the second question? Anyone?
Rishabh,
Uh-huh. Sorry.
I was very concerned with work pressure because like I hadn't done my classes. I thought if I go for industrial training and if I the work pressure will be more, then there also I won't be able to do classes. So that's the one thing from my end.
So actually, if you are very clear about your joining, if you want to join an industrial training, so I would say that the second question should be like when to apply. Because if you someone is coming. Yeah. So what I'm saying is, when you are very clear about your industrial training, then you should know when to apply, because that is most important question. Okay, after your completion of the 2.5 year, you will not able to join, because nobody will take industrial. Nobody will take you as an industrial training. Okay, so the time should be, I would say, the timeline of that, mostly generally 3 months before your, or 18 months or 2 years, that the case may be. That depends on the case to case. If you wanted to work 2 years in your CA firm, then before completion of your 2 years, okay, 3 months before your tenure end, you can start applying on the LinkedIn. There are various groups. Okay, so in there you can apply. So generally 3 months, but sometimes what happens is they start applying again and again. In that case, I would say hardly you should wait for 3 to 4 months, not more than that. Start working on the CA finals examination, because if you are looking for more than 4 to 5 months, in that case, because that is very, like, you will get distracted a lot during that 5 months. If you're looking for a industrial training for like you're searching for next almost 5 years, 5 months, sorry. So in that case, that will distract you from your studies. So I would say that search only for next 3 months before your before your tenure end of 2 years in the articles of form. Okay. So the thing is, like, if I wanted to conclude how when to apply, okay, so the timeline would be 3 months before your tenure. Okay, that is 1.5 or 2 years. Okay, and the third thing I would say, after that, you got to know that yeah, you can apply it. You can apply within 3 years, before 3 years, 3 months of your training, of your 2 years of completion. So in that case, how will you apply? You should have a great CV, I think, right? Is it? Before applying, you should have a great CV, because most of the companies looking for a, they will not they will not know about you. They are not. They don't know about you. They will only get a great CV. If it is attractive, they will call you. If it is not, they will not gonna call you, right? So in that case, I wanted to give give my show you my CV. One second, let me share my screen if I can share my CV so that you will be able to understand how it looks like. Because I prepared this CV for my industrial training application which I applied for by this CV only. Okay. So can you see this? Are you able to see all? All. Let me verify one.
Yes, Ajay. You can see.
So here you can see that.
Yeah, it's visible.
Great. Thanks. So this should be, I believe, this should be one page because most of my friend who was there in, as an industrial training, I saw their CV. They are all like in one page only. Okay. They put all their data in one page only. Okay. It's like a one page CV. Okay. So you need to mention about your professional summary, like the first thing, what is the professional, what all your requirements, okay, how you wanted to work, what are your objectives, these all things. Then you can add your qualifications and then your articleship experience. I believe that in that during the interview they will ask about this. The most important thing, they will ask about your articleship experience, what all you've done in your articleship. They will ask most of the time from here only. Okay. The second thing, this I added after some time. This is not. So these all projects, actually in my case, they ask something about this three statement model. Okay. So I prepared for the, I know that they will ask. Okay. So that's why I put this data here, and I know they will ask. So I need to be very clear about it. So I explained them what is three statement model and all everything. Then because the CV is more attractive, you said you can see here, right? If I take, this is in one page only, and it looks like, yeah, one picture is more important because if you add one picture, that color look that color is attractive for a person. If someone from HR is checking your CV, in that case, you will able to they will able to wanted to see what is written over there. But if you're not adding any pictures, they will say that, yeah, it's just like a page. Most probably they will not gonna check each and everything. But if you add one picture and the presentation in a good way, in this way, so in that case they will most probably they will check, I think. So CV, second part is CV is most important. Okay. After, if you get to know when to apply, then CV is needed, and CV should be in one page, I think, as per my understanding. And this is I can share you with all you. Okay, I'll share this CV so that you can work upon this and you can change it from your end. Okay, you can customize it. Okay. This is the third thing. So CV we prepared. The first thing, what was the can anyone tell what's the total, what we are going, or how the process is working right now, where we are, if anyone remember? Okay, no problem.
JP Morgan.
Sorry, yeah, Aryan.
JP Morgan.
JP Morgan. Sorry. Okay, no problem. Are you saying something, Aryan? Hello.
You are where you are currently working, right? That's what you asked, right? Industrial training.
Yeah, I'm right now working in JP Morgan, but still, like, I have only 3 months left now for my
No,
CA
Ajay
final.
asked. He's asking about the question. Can you repeat the question?
Yeah, can you repeat? What question is that? I don't know. Sorry.
Which you asked. He's asking to repeat it.
Okay, I'm asking where we are right now. What what all points I've covered. If you are remember, can you please tell me?
Why is clear for us, and to apply for industrial training, what we need to do in the first step, like we need a CV to apply.
Yes, great. Thanks. And again, if you get a good CV, then what's the next point? Okay, what should be the next step?
Before that, actually, I want to add on something here. Everybody definitely focuses on the resume perfection, actually, but we forget email body in which we are sending that to recruiter. So email body actually plays an equivalent role in your selection. Okay, so that should be drafted in such a way that is neither too bulky and not too short, because if you write too bulky, then they will not read it as it obviously seems boring. And if you write too short, then recruiter may think that applicant has a lack of interest in the company, that he has not given much of information, much of time to email drafting. So this, that
Thanks,
I
Disha.
would like to.
Thanks for adding some points on this.
What would be the best way of the drafting this email body? Can you suggest something, Disha?
Okay, so actually later on
Please.
Ajay will create a one group. So we will share some snaps of what we send it to our recruiters. So that can help you. I think.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Great. Yeah. So next thing we'll check that where to apply, the most important thing, because you have your CV, you know, yeah, where we can apply, but we don't know where to apply, right? So that's the most important thing, because first, as Smith or someone is mentioning, that we need to clear our mind that which company I wanted to like, which is my dream company, where I wanted to go, right? So first thing, after you prepared your CV, then you get to you need to find out which what all the companies you wanted to work with. Okay. In that case, you need to find out. Like in my case, I thought I will be working in an investment banking company. So in that case, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, these are my target company. I wanted to go there. Okay. So in that case, you need to like find out what all companies you wanted to apply for. Okay. So for that, we need to go in LinkedIn, and we need to connect with those people who are already working in that company. Okay. And most of the time, they will give you some reference. They will give you some email IDs. So there you can apply. Okay. And like luckily we are very like blessed that we are serving you. We will prepare one group for you all guys, and in that case, in that group, we'll share every time what all updates regarding the industrial trainees applications. Every company who is in search of industrial trainees, every time they will post it, any recruitment, then I'll share those in the group. So you can add it. You can add there. You can add here in the group. I'll share the link of the group, WhatsApp group. Okay. So meanwhile, you can start working on your CVs, and then time to time you can apply. Okay. This is the third point.
Yeah.
Where to apply. You can
Here
add.
also I
if you
want to.
yeah.
Yeah.
Please add.
I would like to add some pointers here. I've written over here. Like first, sources of applying. So first, you can apply over the industrial training vacancy group. Every platform, like we have a groups like industrial training vacancies in LinkedIn also, WhatsApp also, and Telegram also. Join all of these. And second is make an attractive profile on Naukri.com. Okay, from there also you can get some leads for industrial training. And third is apply for industrial training on ICA portal. Everybody like underestimate ICI portal, but I got 4 to 5 calls from there only. Okay, so you can use that as well and try to connect more people, as Ajay mentioned. Apart from that, we have one very good page on LinkedIn, that is Vacancy Finder India. So you can use that one. And yeah, and simplest of all is just type industrial training vacancy on the Google. So that can also help Mike sometimes. Yeah, that's all.
Yeah. And also in the Telegram also you can search it out, like industrial training groups and all. There are lots of group with the name of industrial training. You can join there also. You will get lots of updates, and you can apply there also. Okay. Yeah, great. And yeah, these are the most important. And last thing, once you get after applying in the company, once you get an like if you get an opportunity to serve for an interview, so on that day, I'm remembering like I remember that day. Actually, in the first Goldman Sachs was my first in the interview in my case. Okay, so in that time, like they were asked, and I was very nervous that time. So most like unfortunately, I was not clear that interview. But right away after 1 hour, I got a mail from JP Morgan. Okay, and the interview will be next day only. So I was very upset that time, and like almost like how I can cope up with that. I just got a mail from Goldman Sachs that I got rejected in Goldman Sachs interview. So in that case, like you need to be very confident, and need to be very like uh, you need to be very clear about your that yeah you wanted to work on, and need to be very sure that you know about yourself, but nobody knows about you know. So in that case, you need to be like understand yourself that yeah you need to be very focused, you need to be very confident while in the next interview. even if you got rejected in some of the interviews, but that will not gonna not gonna affect your confidence, because it's part of our life, right? So one by one, it will come. One interview, second interview, third interview, it will go on and on and on. Okay, so don't be like, in my case, I was so upset that time, but I would say that the confidence should not be reduced. That okay, that is more important. Once you got an interview from any company, just be confident and give your best, and try to prepare whenever you got. Yeah, the most important thing is I wanted to add here. Whenever you get an interview uh, mail, in that mail they will give you an overview of your position. What should be your position? What will you do in that? So try to search in YouTube what the position do, what is the work they do in that position. If I'm in a CFO position, like I'm just saying it, you ask for a CFO position, what CFO does, so you can search it, no, and you can start working on that, because they will ask in that area only. Okay, so don't start working on that skills and all, what all skills needed. These all things you don't need it actually. So first thing, just check in the mail what is the position that you are offered for, and started working on that. That is, they will ask in the interview, I think. So that's more important. I want to like address you all. Okay. Now we have Q&A. Like there are lots of queries like, do we require articleship experience from Big Four to get into industrial training? Is it? If someone have any doubt on this, please ask me. I'll explain
Yeah,
you.
somebody have drafted in on a chat box.
Okay. One second. Sorry, I have not seen it. The CFA is compulsory. Okay. So first thing you have asked me here is CFA level 1 compulsory for applying an investment bank form? So in my case, I cleared my CFA level 1, but Disha is exceptional here. Okay, no, like there are many of persons, like many of my friends who are in JP Morgan who is not done any CFA, okay, any CFA courses. Okay. So I think it's all about your confidence and it's all about your interview day. Okay, so don't think that CFA is compulsory. Okay, there's nothing compulsory. Only CA intermediate needs to be clear, and 1.5 year of training should be done. These two things, the primary compulsory thing is required. Okay.
I can clearly say that no. Answer to this query is no. Because I haven't done CFA and nobody in my team also done CFA. All the interns team, nobody done CFA. So it's certainly a myth. You can ignore
it's
that
a
and
myth.
can proceed for your selection.
Yes, great. And second thing I wanted to ask, can multiple attempts affect the chances of getting IT opportunity? Is it? And can you say, someone have any doubt on this? There's multiple attempts. If someone, I can share my my own experience if someone asks. If you have any questions. Is there anyone who like did intermediate, you passed the intermediate after 1 or 2 attempts?
Yes, I did.
So you have like you do have a query on that, because like most of the students have a query that if you pass intermediate exam after like 2-3 attempts, like then you will not gonna get industrial training. Is it?
Yes, yes, please tell. If we
Okay.
have taken 2 or 3 attempts, then there is chances or not.
So in my case, like let me tell you, in my case, I have like I did my intermediate. I completed my intermediate examination after 1 attempt. Like I did 2 attempts for my I take 2 attempts for my for clearing my intermediate examination. Okay. Still, like I know there are lots of friends in my JP Morgan. Like 3 to 4% already is they passed after 2-3 attempts. Okay, and then they still got into a JP Morgan. Okay, so there is no requirement for getting one shot clear in intermediate. Okay, you can join again. You can join after multiple attempts. It is possible. Okay, so it's like a myth. They are like in the LinkedIn there are lots of people like saying one attempt is required, one first attempt is required. This is not required in industrial training, I think. Okay, if you want to add, Disha here, want to add something?
No, Ajay, I think you covered it most. Yeah.
Thanks.
We
Okay.
have one more in chat box. You can note it down.
How to apply? Okay, I'll cover something after some time. How? So it's basically Shreyas, no, Shreyas Jain, right? Shreyans Jain. So how you get to know about your which profile suits you? That is a very complicated question. Actually, that depends upon you only, because after intermediate classes and all, you will get like many of the person like the subject financial management. They wanted to work on the analysis part. Many of the person wanted to work on the tax part. So you need to find out yourself which subject is more like more more likely with you. Your like most which subject is more important for you, and which subject you do like more. Okay, so in that case, I think this is the like your personal choice. Like I don't have any answer on that, but I would say that it is your decision. Like after clearing your intermediate, you are very matured enough that you can able to take decisions about your own regarding which field you should choose. Okay. Yeah, that's it, Srijan, I think.
Yeah,
Um,
I think Vikas has one doubt. Vikas.
Vikas. Vikas, yeah,
Yeah,
Vikas.
Bhaiya, I wanted to work in tax profile during industrial training, but I have my exposure in a stat audit during my article 6. So is
Okay.
there any chance, means what should I prepare for the same so that I can get a industrial training in DT?
Okay, so you can apply for in the Taxman company. Taxman is a publisher, right? So they also like come up with their IT industrial trainee recruitment. Okay, so you need to search it out in the Taxman website. Okay, you can apply there. They will most probably asking about your if you are working on the DT side. So they'll ask most of the questions from DT, and most probably they will mention. Okay, they will mention about which area you will be getting asked while in the interview. So don't worry about that. Once you get the email, no, they will mention each and every aspects of your work. So you need to prepare in that way only. Okay, got it, Vikas, right?
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
And also talk to the people who has already attained the industrial training in the DT department, so they can answer you better than like what type of question you can get in your interview. That's all.
Thank you.
So how many of you like think that referrals is more important than LinkedIn? These all things.
Raise your hand if you think referrals do work.
For CA interns, actually, most generally,
Yeah.
I would say.
For CA interns.
Yeah, please ask. Like you can unmute your. You can ask if you have any doubt. Yeah. Okay.
During articles, it was happened to me. There was a one vacancy in EY at that time. Actually, I had cleared my C intermediate in Jan 21, so there was not a lot of vacancies in Big Fours, but I got a good marks. There was only one vacancy. Approximately we have seated 100 of people in that interview. I think 100, yeah, 101. But after some time, you get to know that one of the partners, some relatives got selected in that without an interview, and we are waiting for the same. So I don't know about industrial training, but I have.
Say like in CA firms, these all things work, but I don't think like in my case, and in lots of areas, I get to know that CA firms only get like take referrals, and for CA industrial training, I would say that most of the companies doing like recruitment from online only. Okay, directly to the asking the LinkedIn group and LinkedIn like posting directly in the LinkedIn. Okay, they will not gonna ask personally. Okay, I can see like in while I'm joining in the JP Morgan, I saw the referrals. So I asked my manager, is referral work? So my manager told me that no, referrals work only for employees only. Okay, that is not work in the case of CA intern. So not only in my company like where I'm working on right now. So it's already I check with some HSBC. There are lots of companies. HSBC, Credit Suisse. These are all like the same policies prepared. Okay. So I think this CA industrial training is not like referrals are not applicable for CA industrial training. Okay. And if you want to add, Disha, on this, what
Yes,
your
I would
thoughts?
say
What
that because if any organization is appointing industrial training for the first time, then they might ask for this existing intern, like, okay, if you have any person, please ask to join and please send his resume.
Mm.
So that thing I have seen, but many people are saying that CS referral works. So I think other organization it does, but actually in JPMC it does not. For JPMC, actually employees referral works, but for intern there is no any such applicability.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Great. Okay, so does Excel skills required for IT profile? This is like most asked questions actually. So I would like directly I would say that Excel is much important. Okay, if you wanted to go in companies, you should have a great Excel like hands-on experience with Excel. Okay, Excel is much more important with like nothing like anything. Okay, you need to be very like experience in Excel. Okay, there are lots of formulas we need to put while we are preparing any work. Okay, most of the time if you are working in investment bank, Excel is much more important, and also in PowerPoints, you need to be very like in power. You should have a great experience in PowerPoint also if you are working in the front end of investment bank. Okay, so these things you can work upon before you're joining. You want to join if you are wanted to join in like industrial training as an investment banking firm. In that case, you should start working on the Excel and PPTs. Okay, these are most important things if you are working. You will be working on the front end of your of an organization. Okay. Yeah. Second thing I would say, yeah, one thing, most important, a similar type of exposure. So most of the students are asking like, do we need a similar type of exposure that we are looking for in the as an industrial training? So for example, if you are in the tax department, right? So anyone as an industrial any industrial training company who want industrial training in the tax department, they can ask only those persons who are already have got a good exposure in the IT, or they will ask anyone. What's your thoughts on this? Anyone wanted to say anything on this? Hello, Disha?
Yes, actually, many people say that. Many people say that. Do we need similar exposure as we do in industrial training? Like, do we need similar exposure in our previous articleship firm? What we are going to learn in industrial training? So the answer is strict no, because they are going to train you for that particular department. What you are going to work on, they will tell you everything. So no, you don't need that similar kind of exposure in that.
Okay, to be more precise, like you should have your one second, sorry. Yeah, I told everything. Thanks, Disha. Moving on to the next point, that is basically about the leaves. Okay, so in an organization, is it possible to get you will get a leave for advanced ITT and MCS training as you get in the firm? Okay, you're fed up with the current stipend. Don't worry, you'll get it.
Ajay.
Yeah.
I would like to share that if you're talking about the advanced ITT and the leave part, I talked to some HRs and they had already informed me that that's very rare possibility. So I completed both my trainings in May only.
Okay.
So I think one advice which I would like to give from my experience, it's very hard to find an understanding from, or obviously, if for example, if you've missed the thing, we also have weekend batches which happen on weekends. So if that is possible for you, because obviously that won't hamper with your office timings. But I'll advise you all to complete the training prior only, is what I can say. Yeah, just so sorry,
Great.
go.
Smith. I wanted to I want the same. Like I wanted to give the same thing to all of
Mhm.
them, that yeah, you need to clear your MCS training and ITT training before your industrial training starts. But still, in my case, my manager was so good, so my timing was 11 to 8 working hours. But my IT training will be completed like most probably 2. So from 11 to 2, I take 3 hours of leave, and manager allows me on that. So I used to work like after 2. Okay, so there is an exception in my case, but most of the time I would recommend that please complete your IPT and advanced MCS training before your articles and industrial training starts. Okay. Yeah, that's it for the day. And if you have any questions, you can ask right now. And otherwise, I'll upload it to those videos to the YouTube channel. And if you want to add something, you can add it.
No, Ajay, I think you covered most of it. We have one question from Shruti Singhania. How is the work pressure? So
How's the work
please
pressure?
scope that.
So that is like it depends department to department. Actually, I was working in the two department while I was working in the JP Morgan. I got transferred to a different department. So I saw in the different department, the second department. I will not tell the name actually, and that is because of some reason. So then actually, when I transferred to the different department, the work pressure was so dangerous actually. I used to start working on 1 p.m. and 1 to 3 a.m. morning. Me and Disha, we both were working on like from afternoon 1 p.m. then from 1 to morning 3 a.m. non-stop when we transferred to a different department. One after that, again we transfer back to our original department. So in that case, we only have to work for 8 hours only, 11 to 8, 11 to 7 something. So that is like depends on department to department. You'll get a more good stipend, by the way. Okay, so you don't have to. You will be very motivated while working. Okay, so don't think about how the work pressure. If you get money, then you'll get some motivation. Okay, so don't worry about that. Yeah. So here,
Whether it is necessary to intimate our principal before 3 months, or we can intimate him after getting joining letter.
No, I think as per ICI norms, it's 3 months, right?
3
yes,
months.
as per ICI, but sometimes it depends on the principal to principal. If your principal allows that, then you don't have to worry about it. But in somehow like in many of the firms, I thought that I get to know that principal are not allowing it. So you should give
In Kolkata, there are some mid-sized firm. They will not allow if we intimate before
but
3 months.
in that case,
they will surely-
in that case, what you should do, you should draft a mail that I am in search of industrial training. If you have any problem, you can reply to this mail, because they will not gonna reply. Okay, so just
This Zoom
type.
actually has a timer, Ajay. So I think.
Okay. This will gonna end actually. So this will get uploaded.
You can ask any other questions
in the group.
We'll share the link.
I'll share the WhatsApp link. Okay, you can ask their question. Any question if you have, you can ask there. Okay. Yeah. Thanks guys.
Through LinkedIn post, we'll be sharing notes. Thank you.
Okay.
And I guess
Thank you
you
so
can
much, Disha and Ajay.
also follow